President William Ruto's leadership style in recent months has sparked widespread unrest and discontent, particularly in the Mount Kenya region, which has traditionally been a key political stronghold. Despite this, the president seems unmoved by the growing dissent, and his actions are sending shockwaves through the political landscape.
No one in the leadership of our coalition, from whichever position, has ever called me in regards to the position, in regards to what I need to do better, in regards to what I need to change.
The national government, instead of upholding the rule of law, actively influenced the outcome, ensuring that the voices of Meru residents who elected me were ignored. Even the courts, which should have been my refuge, were interfered with to block my access to justice.
The tour by President William Ruto in Nairobi was the most embarrassing presidential tour since independence. You know, since independence 1963, all the other 4 presidents, anytime they visit an area, they bring some blessings and some positive vibe.
My statement with the DCI explains the various steps that I took to secure his release.
Ruto's strained relationship with the Mount Kenya region became apparent after his recent decisions, including the impeachment of Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, a key ally from the region.
The tour by President William Ruto in Nairobi was the most embarrassing presidential tour since independence. You know, since independence 1963, all the other 4 presidents, anytime they visit an area, they bring some blessings and some positive vibe. Ideally, where the president is the safest, vicinity one can ever be in. And ordinarily, even criminals take off until the president has left a particular venue. But we saw the president with his security entourage, accompanied by criminals, creating mayhem. I don't know what has been gained by Raila's people coming into government. As for me, it's simply political management. The president is grappling with political instability after he interfered with the pillars of his government, and he has to depend on Raila Odinga for survival. Him to come and launch non-existent projects is no big deal. He just come and go. If the people had a say, they would want him to come and commission a project that is totally complete. There are many projects here that have stalled, that was started by President Uhuru Kenyatta. They are not moving on.
This move came as a surprise to many, given Gachagua's loyalty to the president. On top of this, Ruto has reportedly taken drastic steps to silence dissent within his own ranks, such as removing Didi Nyoro, a prominent member of parliament, from his position as chair of the budget committee.
And today, I only came to set the record straight. No one in the leadership of our coalition, from whichever position, has ever called me in regards to the position, in regards to what I need to do better, in regards to what I need to change, in regards to things that needed to be done in a different manner. It's very good for me to put it into record, because as I said, I was holding this position knowing that I was serving Kenyans, so I am also answerable. And in sincerity say, there is no one who has ever called me, decision makers of our coalition, to say anything around this. I read in newspapers about myself the same way you do. And in terms of this position, that's what I mean. And that's the truth.
Adding fuel to the fire, Ruto's administration has been accused of orchestrating the abductions of CS Muturi's son, a move that has left many questioning the president's leadership tactics.
Cabinet Secretary Justin Muturi arrived at the DCI offices earlier today, armed with a bombshell of a statement that would give details he has suppressed for the last 7 months about the events that unfolded after his son was abducted on June 22nd last year.
My statement with the DCI explains the various steps that I took to secure his release.
Muturi's statement unraveling the desperation he suffered while inquiring about his son's whereabouts. The statement reads in part, "I had sent the president a message via WhatsApp at 3 a.m. informing him of my son's abduction, but he hadn't seen it. I decided to present myself at State House, Nairobi the following day to ask about the matter. I informed the president about my message and he explained that his phone had crashed due to an overload of messages. He then called a technician to check his phone since it was still not functioning properly. I requested that he call Nurdin Haji directly and he did." Muturi continues to say, "Standing outside the pavilion, I had the president ask Nurdin Haji if he was holding my son. Nurdin confirmed that indeed he was holding my son and the president instructed him to release Leslie immediately. He responded that he would be released within an hour. After an hour, Leslie was released and informed me that he had arrived home." The president joked, why would anyone want to arrest a young person over the Gen Z demonstrations? He even mentioned that Kiunjuri's son and the sons of other officials had been involved in similar demonstrations. Before reaching out to the president, CS Muturi says that he had made several attempts to inquire about his son's whereabouts in vain. "I called the Inspector General of Police Japheth Koome, who promised to disseminate the information to other agencies. Then I called the Principal Secretary in the Ministry of Interior, Raymond Omolo, who promised to take action. I also called the head of the DCI, Mohamed Amin, but he did not answer my calls. I also called Said Kiprotich, the director of the Anti-Terrorism Police Unit, ATPU, who told me no operation had been carried out. The deputy director of the DCI, James Onyango, informed me that he was unaware of any operation that had taken place. A friend from NIS called informing me that my son was being held by their people. I called Nurdin Haji again. Despite multiple attempts, he did not answer. I called Kithure Kindiki, the Cabinet Secretary for Interior. I expressed the situation. He expressed shock. He called back saying he had spoken to Haji, who had denied holding Leslie. Professor Kindiki maintained that Haji could not be lying.
All these events have left the people of Mount Kenya feeling betrayed, and calls for the president to honor his promises to the region have been growing louder. Former Meru Governor Kawira Mwangasa, who initially aligned herself with Ruto, is another notable figure who has faced the fallout from the president's actions. Despite seeking Ruto's assistance during her tenure, Mwangasa's pleas for support went unanswered and she was eventually impeached. Now disillusioned by the lack of backing, Mwangasa is reportedly considering leaving Ruto's UDA party altogether, further deepening the rift between the president and the region.
My impeachment was not based on any legitimate grounds, but was instead politically motivated scheme orchestrated by those who feared my unwavering dedication to the truth and the welfare of the people of Meru. The impeachment process was a sham orchestrated by prominently male politicians who manipulated the system to remove me from office. The national government, instead of upholding the rule of law, actively influenced the outcome, ensuring that the voices of Meru residents who elected me were ignored. Even the courts, which should have been my refuge, were interfered with to block my access to justice. This is not just an attack on me, but an attack on democracy, gender equality, and the rights of every Kenyan woman who aspires to lead. I am firm in my belief that this impeachment was not about accountability, but about perpetuating a culture of male dominance in leadership. It is a sad reality that in 2025, women leaders are still subjected to systematic discrimination, harassment, and exclusion. My case is a stark reminder of the barriers women face in politics and the length to which some will go to maintain status quo. To my people of Meru County, I thank you for your unwavering support and belief in my leadership. Your voices matter, and I will continue to fight for the development and the progress of our beloved county. To the women of Kenya, I urge you to rise above fear and intimidation. Our journey towards equality is far from over, but together we can break the barriers and create a future where women leaders are celebrated, not vilified. I will not be silenced. I will pursue all legal avenues to clear my name, expose the injustices that have been perpetrated against me. This is not just my fight. It is a fight for every woman who dares to dream of leadership in a society that often seeks to crush those.
Meanwhile, President Ruto seems largely unbothered by the mounting pressure, opting instead to strengthen his political ties with the opposition leader Raila Odinga. This alliance is seen as an attempt to expand his voter base, hoping to attract the support of Odinga's loyalists. However, in doing so, Ruto has alienated more of his own supporters, particularly those aligned with the Rigathi Gachagua, worsening the already tense political environment. As the situation continues to unfold, many are left wondering how long Ruto can maintain his grip on power amidst the growing opposition, both within his party and in the Mountain Kenya region. For now, the president's unyielding approach has left trial of political casualties in his wake, and the repercussions of his decision may continue to reverberate throughout the country. This is Stephen, GCNews.